Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make the best damson jam ever. So currently damsons are in season in the UK, so make the most of it. Go and pick them. Your neighbour might have some in their garden. There are some in the forest that you can go to or in the woods, and you can go and pick them for free. Somebody on an allotment might have some and might not know what to do with them or might not even want them. So go and find them and get them for free because they make such a beautiful jam and it's something different than your normal raspberry or strawberry. Bit of a random fact, the damson comes from the prunus tree and that's part of the rose family. So just a bit of a random fact for you there. So these are ones that I have picked earlier this week, and what I did was I froze them and I have now let them thaw. So that's why there's some juice in this tub, if you can see. So if you get loads and you don't know what to do with them straight away, then you can freeze them and they're absolutely fine when they're defrosted. I absolutely have to big up the damsons. They don't get used enough because they're quite fiddly and they've got a little stone in the middle which can be quite annoying, and I'll show you why when you want to try and sieve as many of them out as you can from the jam. But they are just such a good flavour, and I would recommend that you do have a go at making this damson jam. Just some more information before I get into the jam making. The recipe that I have got is from the Basics Jam Preserves and Chutneys Handbook by Margaret Patton OBE. Now this book I have to recommend because it has got the metric and imperial measurements, and it's also got American measurements in cups, etc. So it's really useful and handy to convert. And then it's got an introduction, it's got essential equipment that you need, it's got top tips, what you need to do to succeed, and just lots of information throughout the book about the different fruits that you can use. And I've been using this for years and years, and the recipes have never ever failed me. So I recommend that you do buy this book, and I put the link in my description. I've also put in the method and everything that you need in my description too. I have doubled what the lady has put in the recipe book. So I'm actually using, oh my gosh, look at all of this, 1 kilogram of granulated sugar. I have got 900 grams of damsons in here, and then I've got a few tablespoons of water. You do need to add more water if you're using less ripe damsons, but I'll put that all in the description in case you forget. Now some more things, I absolutely love all these kind of things. So to decorate the jars, etc., you can buy lots of little things. So if you want to give them as a present, make it look all fancy. So I love these labels, and then you obviously write what it is, and then you can get sticky labels that you can put onto the jars. Then you can get some of these covers. So you could buy these, or you could make your own, get a big piece of fabric, and you could get your own print and just cut them out. You can get these beautiful, which I absolutely love. You can get these beautiful jam covers, and they also do ones for chutney as well. And a link, if you want to buy these, there's a link in my description as well. They're beautiful. And also, you can get, and I would recommend, if you make any preserves, to get jam pot covers. Now in this pack you will get some plastic bands, well, elastic bands, and you get some disc covers, and then you will also get these. So these are wax disc covers, and I'll talk about why you would need these later on. But it's just really handy to have, and it's really cheap, and it just makes sure that it's all fresh and that your jam or your chutney doesn't go off or go mouldy, which is just like, you're putting all that effort in, why do you want that? So first of all, I've got my I love this, it's like my massive cauldron, and you can use a large saucepan if you want, but I do recommend that you get one of these because it's really handy, as I say, because it's got the handle, it's got a little spout there. And also it's good, say on Halloween, then you could do bobbing for apples, or you could just make loads of punch and put it in there. So it's got like multiple uses, so I'd recommend definitely to buy one of these. To start off, all you're going to do is to put the fruit in with your water. So wrap that all in. And then you are going to simmer that until it kind of goes very, very soft. Once it's gone soft the way through, you need a slotted spoon, and you're going to try and spoon out bit by bit the stones from the jam. That's why I've got this empty Tupperware tub to put the stones in. Now you want to make sure that the fruit is soft, so then you can remove the stones, because sometimes it can be quite hard. So you need to wait a little while and gauge where it is. So make sure that you do that. Give it a good stir as well to make sure it's not burning on the bottom. So I've let that simmer and I've just taken it off the heat, and now it's time when you use the back of your spoon and you press against the damsons to try and release the stones inside, and make sure you give it a stir, like I said, so it doesn't burn. Now don't boil this, so you want to remove it from the heat if it does start to boil. So there is the stone, hope you can see that, and I've already started collecting them. Now you will get a bit of the juice and some of the flesh of the fruit whilst you're doing this process, but it's fine because you can just pour that back in, obviously not with the stones still in it. It's really easy to feel the stones and see them because they are a lot paler than the actual flesh. So hopefully you can see that bit there. I'm going to carry on doing this and then I'll show you what to do in the next step. Right, back now, and most or all, I hope, of the stones from the damsons have been removed, and now I'm putting it back onto the heat, and you're going to put it on a low heat, and you are going to add in 1 kilogram, oh my word, look at all that, of sugar, depending on how much you make. So sprinkle that all in to your pan. And then using a wooden spoon, you're going to stir that in, and you want to make sure that all of the sugar has been dissolved before you bring it up to the boil. The sugar has dissolved, and now I'm bringing it up to the boil voraciously until it reaches setting point. So you want to make sure that it goes about 110 degrees centigrade or 220 degrees Fahrenheit roughly. What I'm going to be using is this KitchenAid here, and this is my thermometer. It's actually got a marking for when jam is set, so it's a really, really useful tool, and it makes sure that I get the perfect consistency when I'm doing it. So hopefully you can see it bubbling now, and you want to make sure that you do give it a stir every now and again at the bottom so it doesn't catches and burn, because that won't taste good and it won't be good and you'll waste them as well. So I'll be back with you once this has reached setting point. So this is what it will look like when it is done. So it's been bubbling voraciously, and now I'm going to take it off the heat and show you how I pour it into the jam jars to make it a little bit easier instead of getting it everywhere and it being a sticky mess. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a large measuring jug, and very carefully I'm going to pour in the jam into the measuring jug, so it'll make it easy to pour into the glass jars. Now I have just, and they're quite hot, I have just put these into an oven about 110 degrees for about 5-10 minutes just to heat up, to kill off any of the bugs that might be lurking in there. So let's hope this goes to plan. And then what I will do very carefully is I've got my wax discs ready, and I've got everything that I'm going to use to seal up these jars. Now I'm going to just grab a jar, and it's really hard to do it with the other gloves. You can do it with the tea towel, but just make sure that the heat doesn't go through the tea towel. And then very carefully but quickly pour in the jam. This is going well so far. So right to the top. And then you're going to put a wax disc on top of that. Now you want to make sure that you put the wax side down, and that seals that, and that stops the spores from getting in there and creating mould. So like I said earlier, you don't want to just have all your product ruined. So I've just put my wax disc on, put that to one side, and then what I'm going to do after that is put on a clear disc, and then wrap a elastic band around the top just to give it that extra seal, because I don't want any spores in there or mould. And then you're going to find the correct lid, because I'm using lots of different ones. So hopefully I can find it. And then you're going to put your lid on really, really tight. There we go, so perfect. So if you take your time, but not too much because you don't want your jam to set, then it should be all right in filling it up, using your measuring jug, nice and slowly, making sure that it doesn't get everywhere. If you try and spoon it in, I've tried that before, and I mean, it just went everywhere, and it was just like a sticky mess by the end of it, so you don't want that. So I'm just going to carry on doing this, and then I'll share with you just the last little bit. So this is the end product, some beautiful damson jam. Now you could give this as a birthday present or a Christmas present. You could put labels on. I'm going to put some labels on just after, but I wanted to share with you these. But damson jam is such a beautiful colour. It's like a dark ruby red, and it just smells divine, and it's just something different than your average raspberry and strawberry jam. I hope to see you again. I publish 3 videos a week, so keep watching. So I'll see you on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays with loads more recipes. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you've got any questions, then make sure you comment below and I will get back to you ASAP. All of the recipe, everything that I do is always in the description, so have a look and I'll see you again.